Good morning, Darwin Presbyterian. My name is Peter Davies. I am the Associate Pastor in Cairns Prezi, and I'm also the moderator of Darwin Presbyterian. That just means that I help assist Richard as he leads and help the elders as they make decisions, and also provide a little bit of guidance where I can. And I'm here because I want to make a quick announcement about the recent decisions around Richard's reappointment. So this week, Presbytery met to make a decision on Richard's reappointment as the minister at Darwin Presbyterian. And I've got some good news and some bad news. It's not too bad, but let me explain. The good news is that Richard has been approved and reappointed as your minister again. That's wonderful news. The bad news is that even though we as elders were seeking a 3-year extension, he's been given a 1-year appointment. Now, why is Richard only given 1-year appointment? Well, it's nothing to do with Presbytery's love of Richard or confidence in him as a minister. We think he's doing an amazing job, and we are just thrilled to see how God is blessing your church. It's not to do with that at all. We think Richard's great. It's all financial. So basically, and I don't know how aware you are of this or how much you've been filled in, so let me just explain it. Basically, many churches chose to invest some of their savings in what's called the Capital Fund. This was a trust fund run by the Presbyterian Church of Queensland that churches could invest in and get good interest and put some of their money there. And Darwin put over $100,000 there, as did many churches in our presbytery. Sadly, now in receivership, the receivers have frozen that trust fund completely. And so none of that money is accessible. So while in theory, the application we gave to appoint Richard for 3 years looked very doable, we had plenty of money in the bank to pay him, and sure, even though we ran a bit of a loss for those first couple of years, we had the money there to cover it in theory. Sadly, in practice, the receivers don't see it that way. It looks like Darwin doesn't have the money to cover Richard, not really, certainly not for 3 years. And so the receivers themselves have said they will not approve Richard getting appointed for 3 years, but they would approve him for 1, hence why we've approved him for 1. So what does it look like going forward? Well, in many ways, it's business as usual for 2022. Richard leads your church, you preach the gospel, you see people grow and get saved. It does, however, mean that as a church family and as a leadership team, I think of myself here, we need to be realizing that in the years to come, we probably won't have that money from the Capital Fund or access to money that had been promised to us when the denomination wasn't in receivership. I guess the short version is, in 2023 and onwards, we may have to stand on our own 2 feet financially. Now, I'm not too worried. Because, first of all, I have great confidence in you as a church. And I've seen the way you've been giving so generously. And so I have confidence in you to keep supporting Richard and the ministry of your church. Secondly, I have confidence in our presbytery. As a collection of churches, we love Darwin and we love the work going on there and we're passionate about it. And so I'm sure that many churches in our presbytery will dig deep and give towards the work happening in Darwin. And already many churches have talked about it, and some churches have pledged money in the coming years. So that gives me confidence too. Also, I'm confident that there are plenty other ways that we can get some funding we haven't thought of yet. And already some of those ideas are trickling in to Richard and the team. But most of all, I'm confident that the gospel will continue to go out through your church in Darwin is because of God. God is not under receivership. God is not limited by finances. And so I am sure that God will provide for all our needs as a church in 2022, 2023, and onwards into the future. And only last week at our church, we were looking at Matthew 6. And I want to read to you, so let me read. Look at the birds of the air. They do not sow or reap or store away in barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not much more valuable than they? Can any one of you, by worrying, add a single hour to your life? We can't. Let's trust in God. So today I want to really celebrate that Richard's been reappointed for another year, and I urge you to celebrate with him, and also to pray and trust that whatever hurdles we face in 2022 or onwards, we'll do it together and we'll do it with God. Now, I hope to get up and see you all, maybe February. It all depends on COVID. I'm trying hard, but I'll try to get up and visit you in February. Until then, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and please know that you're in my heart, and I do pray for you regularly. God bless.